I don't understand how Stunky and Skuntank are kind of evil team counterparts to Purugly because they are just so much better in every way. We're rating them all, and in battle, little Stunky is surprisingly good, and its typing is a big reason for that. Poison Dark is a great defensive typing with only one weakness, which does help patch up Stunky's poor defenses and lets its pretty solid speed and attack shine. Sadly, in Gen 4, its move pool is pretty bad at first. It doesn't get anything of note until level 20, where it at least gets Toxic, then later learns Slash and Night Slash. But in Gen 8, it's pretty awesome. Acid Spray has great utility, then with Bite, Venoshock, and Sucker Punch, Stunky is a pretty solid early game Pokemon that's just held back by its later evolution, 3.5 stars. And it is available right after the second gym in Sinnoh and Kalos, then even before the first in Galar, though it is a version exclusive in Sinnoh, so it will average out to 4.5 stars. And Stunky may appear to just be a skunk at first glance, but it does have a pretty hilarious angle to it as well. It and its evolution especially are also really heavily inspired by, well, farts and butts. Skuntank's cry is literal farts. Which, to be fair, is a very direct and easy line to draw from skunks and their odors, but still, pretty funny. 3 stars. And its design, once again, at first glance, yeah, that's a purple skunk, but it does have some pretty clear cat features as well, maybe to really play on the whole this and Glameow were designed specifically for the evil team duo. One is a pretty cat, the other is a fart cat skunk with an actual butt for a face. The latter of which just being way more interesting and funny, but still nothing too remarkable. 3.5 stars, which will give Stunky the final score of 3.65 stars overall. In its evolution, Skuntank is a surprisingly cool and interesting Pokemon for what it is. We're rating them all, and admittedly you would think that a Pokemon with tank in its name would have better defenses, but to be fair, its HP and attack and speed are all pretty good, and its Poison Dark typing is amazing with only one weakness. It learning Flamethrower by level up is hilarious stylistically, but honestly its special attack is usable, and it gives Skuntank an answer to steel types which would otherwise wall it. So you pair that with Toxic, Night Slash, and some decent coverage moves, especially in Gen 8 when you add offense against fairies, and Skuntank is surprisingly good. 4 stars. For its failability, it evolving from Stunky at level 34 puts it like right at the cusp of getting a late evolution penalty since you can find Stunky so early, but it's not quite there, so it'll stay 4.5 stars. And its concept actually does take a pretty big step up from Stunky, who is basically a little cat skunk slash fart joke. Skuntank adds on to the flatulence and gas joke by adding a pretty obvious inspiration from tanks by being able to open up its tail and fire out projectiles and flamethrowers produced by said gases. It also takes some design inspiration from the Bozuzoku biker gangs, and honestly all of this combined makes for a really interesting take on a skunk Pokemon. 4.5 stars. Its design though does seem to tone down the whole butt face joke and turns it into more of a cat face instead, I guess to show it's the other side of the duo with Purugly, but even if it may not do as good of a job portraying that part of its concept, I think it does do a much better job at just, well, looking cooler. Skuntank looks like it should be a Pokemon that's used by the evil teams. It looks like a mean and nasty skunk with its tail giving it the Bozuzoku pompadour and everything. Skuntank is surprisingly cool, and for sure one of the best shinies in Sinnoh. 4 stars. So that does actually land Skuntank a whopping 4.25 stars overall, but not quite a spot on the top 5.